Hey, Wind Up Wizard here, and today we're going to be looking at King Spider, one of the new McFarlane toys to come out this month. Um, don't know much background history on this particular character. He looks pretty cool. He looks kind of like a variation of Venom, which is fitting considering if I could talk, which I can't, but fitting considering they're both kind of designed by McFarlane. I believe. Didn't McFarlane design? Wasn't he like one of the first people to draw Venom? Oh man, I have to look that up. Otherwise, you can let me know in the comments that I'm stupid. Um, but yeah, he looks interesting. He looks a little bit different. It says Spawn on the box. Obviously, he is kind of a Spawn character, but he looks like he could just be like a Marvel character. I mean, he looks like your standard superhero slash supervillain slash anti-hero slash whatever. But also the logo on the box there with a variation of a spider on the Spawn logo, that's pretty cool. Nice touch. So yeah, let's go ahead and take him out of the box and take a look at him. All right, and here we go. Getting him out of the packaging, 4 out of 5. There's a lot of tape this time because he does come with an accessory, a pair of extra hands, and he does come with his own custom stand. It's a bit smaller, like it's definitely smaller than most custom stands they come with. And as you can see, he kind of sits on it kind of strange. But we'll get into that in just a few minutes. The accessory he comes with is like it's like a ball and chain, like a spiked ball and chain. Which you could probably reshape if you wanted it to like extend or whatever. It is kind of a bendable plastic. So if you want to like, I don't know, customize it or something, you could probably do that. I'm assuming it just fits around his wrist. So yeah, we'll have to see. And the hands that he comes with, like the hands that he has on, they're not too different. I know on like Plague, his original hands were like super huge, and so it came with like normal size hands if you wanted to swap them out. His hands that he has on right now are normal size hands. They're just kind of they're partially opened. And the hands that he comes with are just fists. Now, the cool thing about these, though, is that the spikes on the fists are actually different colors than the actual hands, so they do look like bones. And same with the nails as well. They're actually like a lighter color, and the bones right here are like white. So that's a nice touch. They didn't have to do that. Usually, sometimes they'll just kind of make it all the same color, and that's what it is. But when they add different coloring to the parts that like are supposed to stand out, like spikes or tendrils or anything. Different coloring really goes a long way. That's kind of an easy win. I'm glad they took advantage of it here. First thing that came to mind when I got him out was, well, he reminds me a lot of Rat King from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I don't know why. I think it's just maybe like the greenish color. I think Rat King was like more of a brown as far as like his bodysuit went, but the greenish color and just the way he looks, like the way the costume is, it just reminded me of Rat King. So that's not a bad thing. Rat King is a cool villain. But yeah, let's go ahead and let's take him off the stand. As you can see, the stand it's not the best. There is a little bit of detail there. There's a skull there. I guess these are supposed to be like rebar sticking out of the concrete. Kind of wish they would have went with a different color for those to make them stand out a little bit more. It is a very small stand, so getting the balance on there. And also the peg is at an angle, so you kind of have to have his foot at an angle to get it on. And the peg is really big, like to get, if I can kind of show you. I don't know if you can hear it. Kind of like a very squeaky plastic, and you kind of got to work it on there. It's kind of awkward, but at least it's not too loose. If it was too loose, it'd be useless. But yeah, custom stand better than just a regular disc. So you can't go wrong with that. The character overall, let's start with the face. The face mask, I can't really knock it. That's the design. I mean, that's how he looks on the box. That's how he's designed. That's how they draw him. I like the shape of the face. It gives it kind of like a more muscular, toned look, like with the cheekbones, the way they kind of stick out. I'm not in love with the colors. And just kind of like the spider over the front of the mask is kind of, I don't know, it's just looks strange to me. But it is as described, or as it is in the art. So that's good. That's a good thing. See, the arms move really good. They do have that extra layer here under the arms to kind of hide the joints a little bit. This one seems a bit smaller, or it's just a lot looser. You can kind of see like into his chest right there. There's just kind of a gap. So, but still not bad. The spikes right here are like a bone white, which is good. Like I said, I like when they give those a different color, just to kind of make them stand out more. And kind of, let you know what they are, as opposed to just having ridges that are the same color as the skin all over, and it just looks weird. They might as well be like big zits. The color scheme, again, I can't really knock it because that's how it's supposed to be. Yeah, it's kind of like a gray, a light gray white, mixed with green. I don't know how well it shows up on the camera, but there's hints of like greenish blue that pop out through various parts. And I have a feeling I know what they're trying to go with. Like, it's just not like a complete white, it's different shading, but it almost looks like an imperfection in the dye. It's because it's kind of splotchy in some areas, like right here on the back of the leg. It just looks like, yeah, it just kind of looks like a color imperfection, but I think that's kind of what they were going for. It just looks a bit strange, especially on the legs. It doesn't really show up anywhere else on the body. No, I guess back here there's kind of gives it like a tie-dyed look. But that's not terrible. Yeah, I got this leg armor. Doesn't move, it's just part of the leg. And then it's almost looks like he's wearing kind of like slippers. Which again, it's part of the design, so I'm not gonna dock it points for that. I mean, it is what it is. Let's check the movement. So there is movement, and the ankle's kind of stiff. And this one, anyway, it doesn't seem to move that much. This one moves a lot, which is good, because in order to get him on the stand, you have to kind of bend it backwards a lot. So, it's good. Obviously, the two, joints right here are very visible, just because there's a bit of a gap between the joint and the skin. Doesn't really blend in that well. It's hard to get those to blend in, but if you want that movement, this is kind of why I wish they would only put like one point of movement in the knees, because then you only have one of these, instead of two that stick out. So I'd settle for just 20 points of movement if it got rid of one of these joints showing on the side of the leg. Also, I don't know if this is a design or not, but like this part here, it looks like he's wearing like really big underwear, like a big diaper almost. Just because the color is noticeably different from the rest of his body, and there's also just kind of like a big gap between here and like a torso. And so that looks, I mean, the torso movement and torso is good, but yeah, that kind of stands out a lot. So maybe that's the design, I don't know. Obviously superheroes, that's not anything new to superheroes, right? The old underpants over the suit look. But yeah, I think it's just I think if they would have went like a darker color, it would not be as noticeable. Or maybe put a little bit of a texture on there, because it's like a very smooth, it's almost like no texture. But yeah, not a huge negative. The eyes are different color. It's strange. It kind of looks like he has like a bullet hole right between his eyes. I don't think that's what it's supposed to be, but just the shape of his brows kind of juts out a bit. Interesting. Kind of wish they would have put a little more texture on the cape part as well. It's not a big cape, but it's part of the body. It doesn't, well, actually, no, it's not. It does move a little bit. No, I see. It's part of the straps. And the straps technically are separate, but they don't move. They're just kind of like glued on there. So, as always, whenever you can add like a real fabric to these capes and stuff, that's like a big win for me. I like that look a lot better. But yeah. Let's try the hands. Let's take one of the hands off, see how easy those come off. We'll do the right one. Okay. Oh, that's interesting. So, oops. So the joint part, which is supposed to stay in the hand, I think. At least I think it would have to, right? Because you can't really hook it on any other way. Kind of came off with the hand. Yeah, that's gonna be tough to... Let's try the other hand. Well, that's not good. It's kind of a bummer. God. Yeah, see how the other hand comes off. If we can kind of hold it on there a little better. Okay, that one comes off, right? So, let's see. And pop that on there. I think it's on. A little gap there. Let's see if we can get it on even closer. There you go. Okay. Now he has a fist, I guess. And then I think maybe... Oh, I see. Is it supposed to, like, hold the chain? Maybe? I'm probably making this 10 times more complicated than it was supposed to be, but, you know, first time. As I bumped the camera. Alright, well. And then I guess kind of, like, swing it above his head. It's interesting. I was kind of hoping it, like, fit over the wrist. You can actually probably do that if you take the hand off first and then put it on. But I was hoping it would kind of fit over the arm, so that it would look like he's just kind of like shooting it out from his arm. But, yeah, interesting. Probably a better way to put that on there, but that's good for now. Alright, well, yeah. Cool. Also, on the back here, I'm just noticing you can see there's kind of like an edge, like a lip right here, where the plastic was cut, which you can definitely feel if you do that. Doesn't look great, but not huge. Doesn't show up that much on the front, it's only on the back, so no big deal. And I kind of wish this layer underneath came out a little bit further so it would hide the joint a little more, but yeah, it is what it is. On a scale of 10, I'd say like a 7.5. 7.5 out of 10, you could say. Not bad. Definitely different than what you're used to, or at least I'm used to when it comes to like Spawn figures, but that's some things I would change. Kind of wish you could take this hand off without completely taking the wrist bone off and the joint off with it. But do it on this hand just fine. So might have just been this unit. I don't really know. I'm not gonna dock it too many points for that. Sometimes it happens. Maybe I pulled it off too hard or wrong. Either way. So let's try to get him back on the stand. Now the stand is... you can hear it like creaking. Definitely not the easiest. Now you gotta kind of bend his leg. Get the angle just right. I don't know, but you know the good thing is that it stands pretty well, like as far as not tipping over. Because he's really kind of leaning back and it's still standing, so I mean that's a plus. But yeah, definitely a 7 out of 5. Not the greatest, but not, you know, no buyer's remorse on this one either. So good stuff. So yeah, that's going to do it for this review. Hope you enjoyed the video. Feel free to like and subscribe down below as I continue to grow the channel, and we will see you again in the next one.